session for web and push notifications. This session and this has been previously presented in Madrid and Joomla Day Vigo. We are going to be showing some application and websites associated with that presentations. I tried to merge both presentations, so we are going to notice that sometimes we are going to talk about Madrid and Vigo. This is a summary of the previous sessions. I started talking about mobile applications in Joomla World Conference in Bangalore, in Sevilla, and this is just a session that you can visit to see how it has evolved in this time. I'm Anibal. I'm a member of the community. I have been developing websites and in internet since a while. I'm a Joomla volunteer. I'm currently contributing with the JED, and this year I have been honored to be part of the GSOC and collaborating with as a mentor, collaborating with our students to add new features to Joomla 4. In our agenda, I'm not going to provide answers. My idea is to give this presentation just to introduce new questions of what is coming and how we can make Joomla better to evolve into the mobile world. That's the whole point of this presentation. So I'm only going to give you more questions that you have now. So the first question that I have is why notifications? And this is a question that I'm looking for an answer. And because notifications started to have to be a hot topic this year. From one day to the other, we started to integrate in the website notifications, and right now it seems to be everywhere. You visit this website and it has notification. Yeah. Who has sent a notification? I don't know if you have any experience working with these APIs or sending notification. Who has the experience? Excellent. But you know that in reality, all of us are all the time sending notification and receiving notifications. And that has become part of our reality, our daily life. At this time, while you are sitting here, you are sending notification and receiving notification. Even in this moment of the presentation, because our smartphones are always with us, trying to interact with the world. That's one of the questions that I have. Why this is happening? We are receiving notifications from Lead, for example, from the websites, from WhatsApp, and even if we turn off the phone, we are going to receive multiple notifications in an hour, in 2 hours. And for example, this is one of the notifications that we are going to check one of the projects from a new site. So notifications are becoming integrated with our life in every moment. So we have to be able to communicate and use it really as a way and a method to communicate information. And I think that that's the real answer of why it is happening, why it is becoming part of our life. All of this has started more than 10 years ago with a tiny iPhone and a similar smartphone with the Android system. At that time, around 2010, the three platforms that has become the major drivers of our world has been released at that time. I'm talking about the web platform, the iOS platform, and the Android platform. These are the three main platforms that are currently ruling our world. And in 2007, it was the time when it was the golden age of the web sites. After that time, we can notice that all users started to divide their interest in several platforms, and that's what is really changing our way of navigating internet and how we are still now trying to adapt to this new reality. I don't know if you are really feeling this kind of division between the platforms and how user has really changed the way that the web is used today. And that time also Apache Cordova and PhoneGap appear as an idea to have control of the smartphones with the web technology. And since that time, PhoneGap and Cordova has been evolved in that direction. And right now, we can see that with this evolution, it is currently being adapted with progressive web apps. Progressive web apps are the expression of these websites with technology that can be add features proper of a mobile phone to the web. So in some way we can say that we are still adapted to these new platforms and way of supporting the mobile world. For example, one of these ideas is that right now we are seeing that our websites are being accessed by multiple devices. Even these devices are more powerful than our notebooks, for example. They have more capabilities and more features. And that's what we are trying from the web side of the things. It's how we are trying to add these new features to the websites. How to come up with new ideas to integrate these new features in a website. A smartphone has mobile applications, so they are a way to they are the natural way to express these mobile features. But a website can also adapt these new features into a website, and that's what we are trying to add and improve in our websites. So what's going on? It's really a convergence. We started in a way that it was very separated. It was no way to mix the smartphone, the tablets, these mobile features in a website. There was some answers at that time, but with time we start to have better frameworks and technology to add these new features into a website, a web solution. And now we can see that the technology is going to a point where we are going to be able to have the same solutions to support all platforms. And that's what we have to really adopt in our websites or in our mobile applications. I don't know if you are really feeling that this is the way how the technology is evolving, or if you have a practical case to share one of these ideas.
I totally agree. I did PhoneGap years ago. I was very disappointed with process. Trying to make the Joomla site work on iPhone, Android, all of that. It's a huge amount of work.
Yeah.
Just to get basically a mobile version on the phone. And I had clients about 2 years ago wanting to have the home button on the front of their thing.
The home screen.
So
and of course, at the end of the list of these requirements, they want, of course, web notification, push notification, Additionally, some clients are asking to upload photos taken from the phone, or, for example, filter the entries of the directory by GPS, by the location. This is what a typical solution could require. So our answers have to go in that direction to try to answer these requirements. I don't know if you agree with this list or you have new ideas and new requirements for a web solutions. Any other requirement that you have received from a customer?
Yes, accessibility.
Accessibility?
In our country, it's very, very strong.
Yeah.
And new regulations, and every new website must be accessible.
Yeah.
The customer doesn't know about it, but they heard the need.
Yeah.
They ask if it costs more money, we don't need you use it, but as developers, we must provide it.
Yeah.
Accessibility is a must.
Yeah, and accessibility has additional benefit that the web has the HTML has good tools to support that. Sometimes when a customer prefers to create a new user interface, they are going to implement and a user interface is going to be native to Android or iOS. So this is a total different way to try to come up with a solution for the accessibility. So yeah, accessibility is very important and one of the points that we have to take into account in our web technology. So let's stop for one moment at this point and try to rethink, because we have 12 years of history in Joomla, and we are always thinking in the same way that Joomla has originally created. We have to stop at this moment and look to our environment, what is going on in other worlds, and try to accept them in different ways. For example, how different is a content website from a mobile app associated with this content? It is really a different mobile application, or it's just a new way to access the content? Just a little different way to access the content. We are not talking about a mobile application for a game with physics or different ways to interact with the game. We are talking about mobile applications that are tightly associated with the content. So at the end of the day, it's not so different, and our clients are not asking for a total different way to navigate the information. At the end of the day, they are asking for just an improved version to adapt the content in a better way to the mobile world. So, in this year, we can say that we have improvements in the hardware for the devices and improvements in the graphical performance. Also, the network speed is better, so from a smartphone, it's easy to navigate a Joomla website. It's not like in the past that it was very difficult. Also, from the mobile world, there's a set of new frameworks, similar tools that are becoming better, and they are trying to support. They are already support mobile devices in a performance in a way that it has an excellent performance, but they are also starting to support the desktop. For example, Ionic is one of the well-known frameworks that it is evolving into the desktop. We are familiar with Bootstrap. Bootstrap was the first well-known framework to support responsive technology in the desktop in a way that could be easily accessed by the mobile phones. Well, now Ionic is going in the other direction. They are reaching the desktop, but from the mobile world. And this is one of the widgets that they are showcasing to support this way of accessing the mobile application and the desktop. And if we try to use Ionic in Joomla, it's not a natural way, because Ionic is naturally oriented for mobile devices. But we have to accept Ionic as a new way to represent the mobility. This year, for example, I have been greatly surprised by Stack Ideas Easy Articles. Easy Articles is an extension for Joomla that it's an article manager. But this article manager has a user interface that it's very similar to, for example, Ionic. We could easily confuse this user interface with Ionic, with Ionic user interface. So at the end of the day, we are also we have evidence of this convergence between technology that is proper from the mobile world with technology that is native of Joomla. And it is already happening. And of course, we have progressive web apps. Progressive web apps is not widely accepted. For example, Microsoft Edge or Safari are still lagging behind, but we can say that progressive web apps are coming, and they are going to add new features and new improvements from the mobile world to the experience that we have today with the web technology. Right now, progressive web apps has a limited scope, but we can preview that they are going to improve how we represent the technology. For example, in Joomla we have our extensions to support a social network. Why we cannot integrate these extensions for a specific business purpose with a progressive web app? We want to add features into the web apps. Well, this is going to happen in a few years, but this is one of the directions that we have to be ready to accept. And one of the benefits of progressive web apps is that they are a natural technology for us. They are going to be accepted as JavaScript with a manifest. Today they are just this scope, but I can foresee that in a short term more features are going to be added, or extensions could add more information or more functionality in these web apps. For example, one example of this adoption is this progressive web app where we can navigate with Ionic a news site. I think that this web app could easily be adapted to be running on Joomla, for example. And this is in my task list of the next month. Let's see. I don't know if you are following me or I am just talking about crazy stuff. I don't know if it makes sense or any question? Okay. Let's go. Now start the second part of the presentation. We are going to be talking about more of practical cases. Well, in this year, for example, we can navigate sites from our smartphones, and we can reach the content in a way that is natural. We can create, for example, an application and access. This is the Joomla Day event site, and we created a mobile application that loads the content directly from the website the the app can receive notifications, and for example, it can show the agenda. Now, the question for you is this a mobile application that accesses a website, or is this a website that is progressive, that has progressive web apps enabled? What do you think? What are these screenshots? Are they coming from a mobile application or from a progressive web application? What?
Could you repeat slowly?
Yes. These screenshots are showing, and first I installed in my phone an application to access the Joomla Day website. And we can access the website with this mobile application, and we can receive notification and access, for example, the agenda of the event. What are these screenshots showing? Are they showing a real mobile application, or are they showing a website with a progressive web app technology?
The user does know.
No, the user cannot realize the difference.
It could be anything.
Yeah, it could be anything. That's the idea. I can open a mobile browser and access the site, and it's going to be the same experience. So we are reaching that point that we are not really knowing what technology is powering a website, a progressive web app, or a mobile application. Could be any combination, and that's what is happening now. This convergence of technologies. So we have to be ready to think what technology is better for our web solution. Of course, we can prefer some options, for example, to build everything on Joomla. But sometimes we have to combine Joomla with a mobile application built on Cordova, for example, or on PhoneGap, and sometimes we have to add a service worker to add new features to the website. This is what is happening now, and what we have to be ready to adopt in our sites. If we build, but the answer to the question in this case is that this is a real mobile application, because in this screenshot I'm installing from the Google Play Store the application. So this is an actual application that is available in Google Play Store. But it could be a progressive web app. In this application, for the Joomla Day Madrid, is a PhoneGap application that opens a web view to the site. Of course, we can have a different domain with a different view, but in this case, we have one only domain that has different views according to the device that is accessing the content. In my job, we call this application Slim Apps, because they access the domain with the native browser of the PhoneGap application. So following these ideas, we can easily install in our website Easy Social, that's an extension from Stack Ideas, and we can confirm that the user interface is similar to any other social network mobile application. It can be the same user interface for a desktop, a smartphone, or a tablet. And we have to be ready to accept that reality. And this website is going to work in a different way than a regular website, because it has the different views for the same content according to the device. For example, this is one of our success cases. See San Juan, this is a website from the government of San Juan. San Juan is a province in Argentina. This is the governmental news agency, I'm not working in the field. There's a company integrating this technology, this Imagen y Sistemas, who works in the field to adapt the technology to the requirements of the client. San Juan is a well-known, it's known as the land of the sun, a place where there are many vineyards and stunning landscapes. It's really a place to visit. Of course, this project, we are sending web push notification and push notification to the mobile devices. The application is available in the App Store and Google Play Store. And this is the kind of web solutions that we can provide today. So, what tools are we implementing to create this kind of solutions? What do we need to build this web solution? This is the real question now. Well, in Joomla Day Madrid, we presented this case of a Sling app with a web view to the site of Joomla Day Madrid. You can download the source code and tweak it to your own domain. We are building this application with PhoneGap build. You don't have to have a local environment to create these applications. You can just download the code, change it, and upload it to PhoneGap build to create a mobile application. These applications are just like any website. It has HTML, a manifest, JavaScript, and images, style sheets. And if you are web developers, you are going to realize that it's easy to work with this technology. It's not crazy native languages that we have to know, for example, Swift or Java. We can use the same technology that we are currently using in Joomla. We have to use the same languages to create a mobile application. And I invite you, if you are not going to create professionally a mobile application, I invite you to create at least one of these mobile applications to do the exercise to understand how it is converging into a single target. We are going to reach a point where the same code is used in a mobile application or a website. Now we are reaching the point to talk about push notifications. Any questions? Andrea is sleeping? No? You are awake? Okay. Push notifications. Push notifications are the first real practical case of a service worker. Service worker is a background technology that has been adapted to support, in this case, messaging. What is happening here? When we access a site with a web push notification, the site has a tiny manifest. This manifest declares service worker. A service worker is like a cron shop. It's going to work in the background, always, in the browser. So the browser does not longer requires to be in a page to be executing. A service worker is in the background. So the only requirement is that the browser has to be open to be executing. So even if you are not accessing a website, a service worker is going to be executing. In the past, we as web developers assumed that a page, a HTML page or JavaScript is only executing when you are in the site. In this case, the service worker specification allows to execute code when you are not in the site. It is installed You can turn it on or off, but the service working is going to be executing. And one of the ways to understand this technology is like a cron job. It's a cron job running in the browser. And we can install any kind of code in a service worker. In our case, we are talking about push notification or web push notifications. And this is the way how the protocol works. And when you visit the page, it generates a subscription ID, and the browser, when it's open, it queries the push server to receive the notifications. This is somewhat technical. I'm talking about this protocol to really introduce how the service working is installed and being activated on the background. A push service works like a mail service. It requires someone to receive the notifications and distribute the notifications. Of course, you could create your own push service, but today it's very complicated. It's like a mail service. It's something that you want to have a good service to provide you with a push server. One of the most popular push service today is OneSigner, and OneSigner is free. The problem with the OneSigner is, that it's free. So we are not really sure it's going to remain free forever, or it's going to change the term of services in the future. Right now, it's popular mainly because that. If we are really building a corporate solution for a customer, it's better to adopt a solution. For example, Push is one of the well-known solutions. And detailing more providers here, you can visit them. Sergio Iglesias from Madrid told me that Push Alert is working also very well, so you can try it. In the following slides, we're going to be presenting the case of OneSigner. The account configuration is very simple. You can access here and integrate the push server with the platforms. Of course, we are talking about the integration of OneSigner with the platform associated with Android and iOS, for example. So we have to be a developer for Google and Apple. And Google and Apple has different pricing to receive and distribute the notifications. So you're integrating the push server, for example, OneSigner with Google and Apple. And we have to adjust our strategy to have this cloud of vendors associated with the push notification at the website. And this is part of the new reality of business that we have to adapt to have this. Not only the cloud of services associated with the website, we need a cloud of vendors that they are all charging for the service. Here we created two plugins, one to define the manifest and one plugin to integrate the code necessary to install the service worker. You can download the plugin from Jet, install it, and play it with the code. Questions? I already lost them.
Are there any push server open sources basically that you can
No.
develop or like?
No, it's not. I don't know if there is an open source push server. The problem with the push server is it requires a high availability. And for example, to connect with Apple servers, they have a very specific protocol that is not a REST protocol easy to implement. So it is hard to configure and support. So it is complex.
For mobile, the push with Pass Pro, Apple or Android something?
Yeah.
Or go directly to the mobile phone?
Yes. The same push server can integrate any platform.
But does it connect directly to the phone or?
Yeah. Yeah, the phone works with the same protocol of connection that the website. It's checking constantly if there are push notifications, and they are going to receive it in the application that is subscribed to the service. So, as web developers, we have to be ready to adopt this technology without regardless of the platforms. For the websites and the mobile application, they work in the same way. It is not such a difference between all of them. Well, this is a standard configuration of the plugin. You can access the plugin and complete the fields. I'm not going to talk much about this because you can read the documentation from OneSigner or for the plugin. And at the end, when you install these plugins and configure the accounts, you are going to end with this kind of dialog in your site to subscribe to where your user can subscribe to notification. You can access my blog and subscribe to my web push notifications. I'm not sending too many updates. When you subscribe, OneSigner are going to send you. OneSigner is going to send you just a welcome message. I invite you to test these ideas at home and play with this technology because it's what is going to be adopted in many websites, for many clients. Well, and in the second part, I'm going to give you this repository when you can download the application for Joomla de Vigo. This application has the additional twist that it does not only loads a website, it has the integration with the plugin for OneSigner. You can configure the account with OneSigner and this application to receive the same notification for the website and the mobile application. Of course, you can download the code, change these IDs in the code, and upload it to PhoneGap Build to create the application and install it in your phone. Now, to complete the idea, I think that we are on time. We have created an extension to send notifications. We already have developed this extension, Juicial, to send posts from the content in articles to Facebook, Twitter, and this is the original focus of our extension. Right now, we are extending our extension to send web push notification or push notification to mobile applications. And this is the hub, the content hub that we are trying to adapt now and evolve in that direction to integrate a cloud of services around Joomla. And as the last official slide of this long presentation, this is the new version, the new major version that we are working on. We are evolving this extension from a content hub with the look and user interface that is natural from Joomla to the new user interface to be focused only in the functionality that is going to be natural in the new iteration when we are trying to have a single user interface for Joomla and our mobile applications or in a future progressive web app. So the same extension can be executed on Joomla and provide features and functionality for different devices, but always from Joomla. And this is a Ionic user interface. Of course, this is not a general site, this is an extension, but the idea is that we can really build an extension with Ionic and modern PHP to support the whole content hub that Joomla is having today. And this is the conclusion. This is the challenge that I am proposing. This way to come up with to solve the challenge of the mobility. We are trying to adapt to this new world of devices and platforms that they are currently accessing Joomla. We have multiple views, multiple platforms. We have to render all the content in a web view. Joomla is flexible enough to support all of these devices with the same technology. I don't know what happened here. Any question? Yeah, Nicola.
What are the impacts on the performance side if we have a lot of push notification on our browser?
It depends on the mobile device. If you have an old device, it is going to be slower. I don't know if a user can really notice a difference. But of course, of any of these content-oriented sites or these content-oriented solutions, they don't have really performance requirements. We have to think that a smartphone or a desktop today, they have a performance that can run a game with very high performance requirements. So any of these content-oriented solutions, they're going to be easily handled by the typical configuration. Yes, so one of the questions that I have is, what is the content management today? How it has really changed? I think that I have to end the presentation, but I'm going to give you a couple of more slides with cases when you can check, for example, how an Slim app is working with DJ Classifieds or with Easy Social. All of these are different mobile applications that we have created for different clients and agencies. With Joomla, with Easy Social, they are available in the App Store on Google Play. This is a funny one. We always need a cut in a presentation to be successful. Here we have an application to search and find lost pets. This is powered with Joomla and DJ Classifieds. And the last one is an application to search by position. This is a festival in Spain to visit streets on Seville, I think. Yeah, in Córdoba, where you can look for different entries by your GPS position. And I think we are done. Thank you very much.